Music has been around for hundreds of years, dating back before the 1800s. But do any of you know what the oldest instrument known to man is? Ancient drum artifacts have been discovered dating back to 6000 BC. I have been playing the drums for about 9 years now. I played with a handful of unsuccessful bands, and I've won championships in high school as an indoor percussion ensemble. Today I would like to discuss with you different types of drums, the history of drumming, information about rudimental drumming, and how to personally pick a typical drum set seen today. I will begin by informing you about the many different types of drums that are played. The snare drum is the most common and recognizable type of drum, unique from other drums due to the metal snares, which are objects that resemble springs around the bottom of it. They line the bottom of the drum, and the snares produce a very brief buzz when the top of the drum is hit. This gives the drum a unique and crisp sound. Steel drums are probably heard in many Caribbean-style songs. Popular in tropical islands such as Tahiti and Hawaii, their different sections of the metal drum are hammered to create different pitches and identifiable notes. It is used both as a rhythmic and musical instrument. The djembe is an African drum played with your hands. Typically, it is a wooden drum covered with a sheepskin head. Manufactured in different sizes, the bigger the size, the deeper the pitch, and vice versa. Bongos are another type of drum typically associated with Africa. They are played with the hands as well, and often come in a set of a couple of drums, ranging in different sizes for different pitches. According to Arnold Anderson, they were originally used to scare off evil spirits in Africa in a form of communication. The conga, often heard in Spanish and salsa music, is very similar to the bongo, but produces a much deeper sound due to its longer body. Now that you understand the basics of drums, let's take a look at the brief history of the drum. As said before, the first drum known to man dates back to 6000 BC. Found in Mesopotamia, it was made of clay and shaped like a square. The first snare drum was created in the 1300s. It was made in medieval Europe and was used as oftenly known as the tabor. It was modified by the Turks in the 1500s and was used during wars to scare enemy soldiers into thinking that their army was approaching. It was continued to be used for hundreds of more years and date back to the Civil War. The first bass drum was developed in the 1400s. It was developed in Western Europe and was known as the Turkish drum. The first complete drum set was established in about 1930. It consisted of just a snare drum, a bass drum, and 2 types of cymbals, which is much more modest than most drum sets seen today. In 1973, the first electric drum set was manufactured. It was not used much back then, but is now more commonly seen in R&B and hip-hop types of music. Next, I will tell you about basic drum rudiments and demonstrate for you the most basic rudiment. Drum rudiments are classified as the language for drummers. Simple and complex sticking patterns are used to incorporate into the drummer's playing. Most typically, they are used in marching band and ensemble types of music. It tells a drummer when to use a stick in their left hand, and when to use a stick in their right hand, and in what kind of timing. The name of the rudiment often sounds like the drummer is playing. It can be said while the drummer is playing. For example, a paradiddle has a sticking pattern of right, left, left, left. While playing, the drummer can say paradiddle, paradiddle. I will now demonstrate for you how to play a paradiddle. According to Buddy Rich's modern interpretation of the snare drum rudiments, there are 40 essential rudiments. However, there are hundreds of variations to these rudiments created by endless drummers. Mastering rudiments enhances the quality and the skills that a drummer can pick up. If I have sparked your interest in becoming a drummer, I will now discuss the basics of picking your own basic and typical drum set. Picking the snare drum. Most expensive instrument in your drum set. The more you spend, the better the quality of the snare drum. Prices can range from under $100 to several $1,000s. The smaller the drum, the crisper and higher pitched the sound. The sizes can range from 12 to 16 inches, but typically the drum sets that you see today have a 14-inch snare drum. When you pick your tom drums, the different sizes make the different pitches. The bigger the drum, the deeper the sound, and vice versa. They come in a large variety of sizes, ranging from as small as 6 inches to as big as 24 inches. A typical drum set may have 2 to 3 drums with sizes about 10, 12, and 16 inches. Now you have to pick your cymbals. There are a large variety of cymbals to pick from. They range in size as well. Some are as big as 6 inches and are known as a splash cymbal, while some are as big as 24 inches and even bigger, and they are known as the ride cymbal. Many different brands such as Sabian and Zildjian have been created to make these cymbals. Each brand has different ranges and qualities of cymbals. Cymbals should be tested by the drummer before buying them because every drummer will have a different preference for which cymbal they like. Basic cymbals on a drum set consist of two hi-hats, which are cymbals inversely put together that can be opened and closed with the use of a foot. And there is a crash cymbal, which is a cymbal that is hit hard to add emphasis on a beat. And a ride cymbal. Finally, a cymbal that is used to keep the basic timing for songs being played. Today I have informed you on some of the many types of drums, a brief history of drumming, and basics of rudimental drumming. Also, I have told you how to pick your own drum set out. Like people I had begun doing thousands of years ago, I enjoy playing the drums as often as possible, or in my current circumstances, as much as my roommates let me.